LA Times. Kanye West hits keep coming. Here are the companies that have cut ties with him. The Gap, Instagram and Twitter, JP Morgan Chase, Def Jam, Balenciaga, is that how you said? CAA, MRC, Adidas, Foot Locker, Jaylen Brown and Aaron Donald, Donda Sports.
Oh, wow.
Is that it?
Donda was just saying that they were sticking with him yesterday. Is this right? Donda?
Well, his lawyer also he made sure that he's not working with him. His talent agency.
His lawyer dropped him.
Yeah, his lawyer dropped him. His talent agency dropped him. And now LA Times is writing an article talking about how Spotify and Apple Music have to pull his music, and they're arguing for more censorship, more canceling here. Yeah, LA Times has an article that's titled "Why Spotify and Apple Music Haven't Pulled Kanye West's Songs." And in that article, they make an argument saying, if we're going to counsel somebody, we're going to make sure we're going to fully counsel this person. And you're seeing someone being depersoned in real time, whether you agree with him or disagree with him. I think there is something to say about something that is happening to Kanye West right now that has happened to other people like Alex Jones and, of course, Andrew Tate as well.
So
look at this.
Donda is Kanye's company, and Jaylen Brown and Aaron Donald cut ties with Donda. That's what it is. And they got rid of the Donda Academy basketball team. It was removed from a tournament. Okay, what were you saying?
No, it's just LA Times. Here's the story. Why Spotify and Apple Music haven't pulled Kanye West's songs. This is the crazy thing about censorship. When Alex Jones got censored, they didn't shut down his ability to speak. They deleted everything he had ever said on the platform, on all these platforms. There's no record of it anymore. That's crazy. That's like, you know that photo of Stalin? And there's that dude next to him? And then they got mad at the dude, so the dude's gone from the photo. You guys know what I'm talking about?
They depersoned him?
You guys, you don't know what I'm talking about? You never saw that?
No. Yeah.
It's like a famous photograph where it's like him with this guy, and then all of a sudden the guy's
They
gone.
brushed him out.
Wow.
Yeah, back in the day before Photoshop.
It's not even one. There's like numerous people that he just, depersoned.
They got Kanye, man.
Yeah.
Because he said, now they're going to get mad at me for saying they. No, the establishment, the corporate press. I don't think, here's the funny thing about what Kanye said, right? So he criticized the Jewish mafia. I think Kanye West is clearly wrong about that. I think he's needlessly putting like ethnicity and race in front of what's clearly corporate interests that are aligned against him.
Right.
But this is exactly what conspiracy theorists and anti-Semitic individuals expected to see, and they got it.
I got a question. Do any of you guys are any of you guys Jewish, or do you know a lot about Judaism in general?
I'm not.
I talked with Michael Malice about it. He's Jewish and was telling me that there's like a tenet of Judaism. And correct me if I'm wrong, anybody in the chat. I want to get this as clear as possible. But that part of the Jewish faith is that God commands people to maybe not enjoy life on earth, but take advantage of life on earth. This is basically your opportunity. And if you don't take advantage of it, then you're basically committing a sin against God. So Jewish people believe that this is theirs to mold and craft and utilize. But then what happens is that when that gets out of control, it can be perceived as greed. And that's completely antithetical to Christianity, which is charity. Greed is a sin in the Christian faith. So I think when people get greedy, that's really the problem. And when Kanye is complaining about people, he's complaining about greedy people. Mm-hmm. Whether or not they're Jewish, I don't think is relevant. But it is interesting to point out these tenets of the Jewish faith, and I'd love to have Jewish scholars in here to talk more about it.
I found it interesting that they're not canceling his music, right? I mean, it's a different situation when, okay, you have a brand, you have sneakers or whatever it is that he's going to be associated with. But with the music, it's just him. And so how much of the money that he's worth comes from his music? How much does he generate for iTunes, for Spotify? Obviously, it would be hugely concerning if we start saying, we're not going to platform your music because of something that you said outside of your music or even in your music. But if that's the next shoe to drop, I mean, that's going to be a problematic thing for everybody. When you're talking about censoring things like music on platforms, what happens after that?
So do you guys see remember when they banned Farrakhan? I think Facebook banned him. Mm-hmm. Basically what happened is after Alex Jones gets banned, people start pointing out that Farrakhan, I don't know if for everybody, people who aren't familiar, it's the, what's the organization called?
It's not Hebrew Israelite.
No.
The Muslim Brotherhood.
No, it's not the Muslim Brotherhood.
Nation of Islam?
Nation of Islam.
Right.
There you
Nation
go.
of
That's what it
Islam,
was.
right.
Yeah, so Farrakhan is deeply anti-Semitic. There's tons of people in the rap hip-hop community and many people in the black community who follow this. He gets banned, and Snoop Dogg put out a video saying, how the F are you going to ban Minister Farrakhan? How dare you, and stuff like that. And it's fascinating because it's like, you do realize what that means these people believe, right? They're just not saying it. So what happens is people get surprised Kanye West comes out and says this stuff. I wasn't. I was on the ground in Baltimore during the riots. It was, I can't remember who the riots were for. And there were a bunch of young black kids who were very, very they were talking about Farrakhan, they were talking about Islam, Allah, and they were saying anti-Semitic things. And that was the first time I ever experienced it. I didn't know. I was like, what is this? Like, they're Islam or what's going on? And people started talking to me about, you do realize like Farrakhan's been around for a really long time. And then I was like, oh, wow. I only remember from the rap lyrics in Tony Hawk 2, was it the Public Enemy song? You know, Turn It Up, Bring the Noise, that's what it's called.
Bring the Noise, yeah.
When what's the rapper? Chucky D says, Farrakhan's a prophet I think you ought to listen to in the lyrics. And then so I didn't really know a whole lot about it. Then I see these viral videos and I was like, that's what these people believe? Holy crap. So they banned the guy because people started campaigning saying, how are you going to ban these people but not him? Then a bunch of rappers, prominent celebrities, people like Snoop Dogg came out. Mm-hmm. Kanye West comes out and says, I'm going to say what I feel like saying. Then he says some anti-Semitic BS and people are surprised. Dude, there's a ton of rappers and celebrities who believe exactly what Kanye is saying. So I don't know how you deal with it, or I'm just pointing that out. You want to talk about banning his music, which is unrelated to his politics because he admitted to what he believes? Think about people like Snoop Dogg and all those other people who support Farrakhan.
Yeah, another issue with Judaism and Islam I've been thinking about is whereas Judaism has this tenet of like take advantage of earth, utilize its goods, and it's gracious. Islam is like do not be decadent. Decadence is the bane of our. If you are decadent, you are sinning against God. So whereas the Jewish faith is kind of like maybe opulence, maybe not the right word, but they're willing to have a lot of things and stuff and good things around you. Islam's like no. You do not want to show if your brother is decadent. He's a stain on the family. So I think that's part of why those two religions have been at odds for so long. I think, just coming into my mind the other day.
Yeah.
Well, you start banning music from today's era. What do you do from 150 years ago? Right.
That's a good point. We should ban it all.
Classical musicians, the Baroque era. What were all their beliefs? Let's get their beliefs and let's cancel them off of wherever you get your classical music from. It's a slippery slope.
It's so weird.
Good point.
Yeah, this is just it's
it should
breaking down.
Shouldn't be
Cancel culture's
centralized.
crazy.
Yeah, we need like decentralized music service. Like iTunes should be a decentralized service in the commons where everybody can host their stuff and be utilized.
Well, at the other side of this, private businesses get to choose who they want to work with. If they don't want to work with this person, they don't have to. But there also is a very coordinated, organized push to punish people for expressing ideas that they don't like. Of course, ideas always should be debated, always should be contested. I'm all for debate, but some people are saying Kanye's going way too far. It's too sensationalistic, and there's a big firestorm happening here. There's a lot of media organizations saying cancel, and a lot of corporations saying okay, yeah, gladly, we'll do it, and they are. So whether you think it's right or wrong, that's up to you based on your individual premise.
And all this is going to do is make him he's going to double down. He comes out and says he's being attacked by a particular group. Then all of a sudden, everybody cancels and bans him. What do you think he's thinking right now? Kanye's probably being like, see? Mm-hmm. And it's like, dude,
yes.
It's just so insane, man.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he wasn't able to sit down with like the Daily Wire crew. Apparently, that's not going to happen or whatever.
Yeah, he said they didn't want him on.
He said that
on the Lex Friedman interview. He said it, and then Lex was like, wait, they didn't want you on? And he was like, yes, they said they didn't want me on.
That's crazy. I mean, I get it. You have to imagine Ben Shapiro's like, dude, not cool. I mean, It's like, Ben's Jewish.
But I do think communication is the solution. Unless you're going to try and annihilate
I want to see a
something.
Kanye Ben Shapiro debate. It would be entertaining. It would be crazy, but it would be a clash of different ideas. And as you mentioned, Tim, a lot of people have those kind of different ideas, but at the same time, what better way to deal with it? What better way to get rid of a lot of this animosity, a lot of this hatred, than to be able to just to talk things out and be able to, of course, pin ideas against ideas. Let the best ideas win. And I think that would be something interesting. It might go haywire, it might go bad, but I think that's the consequences we face in our modern day society. And that's better than just shunning someone and saying, hey, now we're going to make sure you double down on your beliefs instead of talking you down from the beliefs that we think are wrong.
Yeah, I'm going to have to hit up the Daily Wire crew and ask them why that's the case, because that doesn't seem right.
Get clarification.
Yeah, because the Daily Wire, they like poking the bear. And especially with Ben being Jewish and Ben being reasonable, I'd imagine Ben would actually have a conversation with Kanye. Ben debates people. He stands in front of people. So it seemed weird to me that the Daily Wire wouldn't bring him on. You think they'd be the first place to be like, okay, Kanye, like come here and tell us why, because we're going to tell you why you're wrong. But to just be like, no, we won't have him seems strange to me. I don't know, man.
Yeah, the point you brought up, I agree, right? But businesses can make their choices on who they associate based on, what they want for their business model. But marketplace of ideas, I don't remember what Supreme Court justice said it back in the 30s, or maybe it was Holmes or Brandeis, but the remedy for bad speech is good speech.
Exactly.
Right? So,
Absolutely, 100%. And we need to prioritize that more than ever. No matter who it is, if you disagree with, again, censorship only fosters those bad ideas and makes people double down on them. And when you censor people, when you silence people, you only make sure that they go off to the far ends of the internet where those ideas are even radicalized even more than they originally radicalized. This is why I have a lot of prospects and a lot of, not pessimism, optimism, specifically when it comes to Elon Musk purchasing Twitter, as I think it's going to help society by and large a lot.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.